So I figured today I'd do something a little different. You know, take a break from pulling up the articles, and stuff, and talking about other people's opinion and getting my own. I'm just gonna make this video, and we're gonna go through a whole bunch of stuff regarding the U.S. election in a few days, regarding the Canadian election next year, and just overall, I guess you'd say my kind of story of my political views and that, which I hate when people make those videos. It's like why I left the left and why I left the right, and it's you know I think it takes you to have to be a supporter of both parties to understand the whole scheme, right? Because, you know, you have so many people on the left right now. Uh, Gen Z, Gen Z's, boomers are a bad one. You have all of these people that their news source is feeding them nothing but, anti-establishment. I'd say anti-Trump, but we've known that they've been that way for years. But see, the thing is that I don't want to make this a Republican, Democrat, or liberal conservative debate, even though I know it's bound to turn into one. It's a political video, but you cannot tell me that over the past 10 years, ever since Trump officially ran for president, because you guys remember, he teased it for decades and people wanted him to do that. But at that time, they were pushing Clinton in. They really wanted Hillary in there. Um, but the moment it appeared that Trump was going to be a threat. You guys remember that 2016 election where they had Hillary up by all these percentages? They were talking about this is going to be the biggest landslide in history, and Trump shocked the world by winning in 2016. And even his supporters didn't even know what to expect from Trump. Obviously, he was saying the right things. He was being the counterculture figure that we've wanted to see in the establishment, even though he was a part of the establishment, and I guess it is, considering he was high profile billionaire, former president. But it's weird. It's a weird world we live in. Like, I can go in chronological order. I don't know if I said that right. Of all of these headlines, of all these trials that they've gone after Trump for, and all of them have either failed or you have that New York case where they rewrote the law to put convicted felon on. Like, and again, too, they always refer to Trump and Trump supporters as 1930s Germans. You know, I don't want to say the name and risk this video being flagged, but they have been saying this for years now. I laughed when Biden got in, which, that election will always have an asterisk next to it for plenty of reasons on both sides. We can get into January 6th. We can get into what happened after the election, during election night. We can get into all the events that were happening leading up to them. All these cities being taken over and ransacked by rioters for a bunch of causes that they completely took away from. And it really pisses me off working back at it now. Because, BLM in particular, let's go with that one. I don't think there is a single logical person that disagrees with this statement, Black Lives Matter. I don't think anybody disagrees with that statement unless you're racist. But you got a bunch of white people protesting and rioting in the name of black people for, equality. And all that did was make a bunch of white politicians millions and billions of dollars. It cost small businesses, it cost day-to-day citizens, but, these billionaires, remember when Target was getting ransacked and that? They got insurance, all that shit. They're gonna make some money back. Like, and just the media, too. The media, the censorship on both sides, censoring even people on the left that are, speaking out against whatever it may be. It doesn't even need to be pro big guy, right? It can be anything that goes against the mainstream narrative. It gets shut down immediately, and the politicians, the head figures, and most importantly, the supporters are fucking savages, dude. Don't get me wrong. There are extremists on both sides, right? But the fact you have an entire, or not an entire, a sizable amount of America to begin with that wish that a former president was shot, right? I understand maybe like if you have a personal grievance with Trump, I get that. Like that's a personal grievance. But if you're just a day-to-day citizen and the only reason you don't like him is because of mean tweets and what he says on the media, you're an idiot. Same way if you like him for only because he says funny stuff, you know. And I want to make it clear too, again, as I do in all my videos, don't vote because of what I'm saying. Vote because of what you think. Vote because of what your values are. But you know, it's just it's mind-boggling to me. We can get into the attempts on Trump's life in the past few months. We already talked about the New York thing. We already talked about him being impeached twice. Like you can get away from all of this what looks to be organized hits on Trump. No doubt about it. Whether it is Iraq, whether it is the deep state, we'll never know. But to go as far and brainwash a sizable amount of the population to absolutely despise people based off of who they support politically. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. These politicians on either side will sell you out in an instant. I don't get how people can, you know, read into this politician, and I did it too. I did it too. But to really think that a politician is going to come in and make everything 100% great, make everybody rich, that's just never going to happen. Um, the only way you can get rich in this world, the only way you can advance in this world is off your own hard work and that. And my generation and me, I put myself in this category extremely. We're fucking lazy and stupid, right? Like, I guess this is a topic I'm more into now. Like, you look at Gen Z, right, and primarily my generation is more progressive. Even our conservatives, probably because of the fact, like, we've been around these concepts that have been brought to light, and in my opinion, over um, politicized. Like, I don't think that many people are going around caring about race, caring about sex, caring about gender, religion, whatever you want to, like, it never ends. And it pisses me off too because, like, you look at you look at the interviews Biden did as president. Those were fucking horrible, dude. You cannot walk out somebody in that mental state and have him represent a country. That's just not something you can do. I have no idea. Like, Donald Trump has been saying, we need a physical test and a mental test for any political position. Honestly. Canada, America, Poland, Australia, fucking Zimbabwe. You know, it boggles my mind. And you can get into, the left or the progressive and champion equality and that. Like I've been saying in all my videos, you voted in basically one of the most racist Democratic VP and president combos in history. Kamala Harris, we can get into her career as a prosecutor. Joe Biden, like I said in my other video, he wrote all these crime bills, 94 crime bill being the biggest one. He was one of the big guys behind the Bus Act and all these racist fucking bills and shit. It boggles my mind. It really does. It really does. Because you can never have a fucking genuine conversation unless there's somebody who is apolitical or a very, very rare breed of liberal or conservative. Very few of them are willing to, like, accept the realities of their own party while they're shitting on the other party. Because absolutely, the thing with Trump, right? They go after Trump so much. There are absolutely things you can go after Trump on. There are policies and characteristic traits about Trump that I really don't like. I really don't. However, everybody is human. At the end of the day, in my lifetime, I I've seen several world leaders, right? When I was younger, Bush was in there. I barely remember that. Then Obama got in. I remember him. Stephen Harper was prime minister until I was 11. You know, like I I've always been interested in current events and politics. I've always viewed myself as somebody who's able to not only critically think, but I can put myself in somebody else's shoes and understand their point of view, whether I agree with it or not. And, that's something that so many people miss right now. And I think it has to do, again, with my video yesterday. Social media, dude. Social media has fucking destroyed people mentally. It has destroyed people socially. And it has completely poured a propane tank, or that's a propane gas terminated. Like you're pouring gas onto a fire, right? That's all you're doing. But like it's kind of sad too, because people either don't think about what they're supporting, or they're too scared to voice their own concerns. And it's so weird to me that it's just you're you think this, you're right wing. You think this, you're left wing. You have to vote for these candidates, and if you don't, and if you go against your side, then nobody will like you. Like, I don't know. I'd be willing to vote anybody in, regardless of their party, if I agreed with their values, if I thought they were a logical person, and if I thought the people behind them were, the right people. Like, up here in Canada, Jagmeet Singh is the best speaker in the House. When he isn't paid off, when he really sits down and talks, I like what he says, right? I think, like I said, best speaker in the House. He has the ability to sympathize and empathize with normal people, but he sold out heavily, you know, with 2020 and all that stuff. But, like, beyond America's government, beyond who, it doesn't matter the names in office. It, well, it does. It matters what policies and what agenda the government is going for. Like, Justin Trudeau has tried everything he possibly can to divide this country, right? And we don't have a term limit, so theoretically, this fucker can be in until he dies. But, I don't know. I just, like, you have men going into women's bathrooms, you have men overtaking women's sports, you have all this animosity towards everything. Everybody's so extreme about everything. It's, I don't know. I feel like we gotta dial back on some things. And I also do think, like, we gotta get rid of the establishment people that have been in the system for decades, that are the main causes of this division and every other issue. You know, why don't we talk about Afghanistan? Why don't we talk about, all these atrocities made by America? Canada having the identity of a peaceful country is fucking hilarious. Like, dear God, if you want to go through history, you will quickly learn to realize Canada is one of the most evil fucking countries ever. Like, there's a story on think it was Christmas. Christmas or Thanksgiving. During the war. I just shouldn't be Thanksgiving then. But, they had, like, both armies agreed to cease fire, and Canada, initially being nice, threw a bunch of cans of food over to the Germans, and the Germans are like, yeah, do you have any more? And so they threw more cans of food over. Well, instead of cans of food, it was cans of grenades and C4. And they blew the shit out of a bunch of Germans, which is really evil. Kind of funny, but really evil. I don't know. I I hate the comparisons to 1930s Germany on both sides. I don't get the progressive shit, I'll be honest. I really hope, man, that, you know, one, I believe Trump winning might be a start to moving away from all this woke shit and all that. You know, people gotta learn. Nobody really gives a fuck what you do in this world. As long as you don't hurt anybody, you commit to whatever you're committed to, you work hard, you present yourself in a respectable manner, people will respect you. And the people that don't, that are these extremists and all that shit, no amount of law, no amount of hate speech laws, no amount of jail time is gonna change those kinds of people. You know, I can get on and on about the the hot topic issues, abortions, the border, gun rights, all this stuff. You know, beyond that, I just like I've been saying, I think the most important part, I should say, most important parts of leading a country is keeping the morale up and providing a stable economy for your citizens to live in. And my opinion, the Democrats in America have done everything in their power not to do that. The Liberals in Canada have done everything in their power not to do that. And my hope with a Trump victory this time around is that the media slander and the media's machine that they have won't work as effectively as the last time. And we'll really get to see the real Donald Trump. We'll really get to see, is Donald Trump this monster that the media makes out? Or is he a guy that has just been the target of the biggest slander attack in history? Well, can you name another guy in any country in the world that has been gone after this much? Like he he probably is out there with Assange and Snowden at this point. But I don't know. This video is running long. I don't know. I kind of wanted to just give my opinion. You know, give my own thoughts. No, like I said, no articles, no videos, except for this one. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens next. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with anything I said? What's your opinion on where we're heading? I don't know. you don't even need to tell me like who you're voting for or anything, because at the end of the day, that's a personal decision. Well, let me know in the comments, like, what is your opinion of the difference between 2014 news, politics, media, whatever, and the media today? That's all I got though. Thanks for watching if you stuck around for the full video. Leave a like, all that stuff. Later.